Okay, hello and welcome to another Ultra Game template tutorial. This one is going to be super easy. Okay, all right. And we're going to do a save system for the new settings that we have just created in the last tutorial for the weather and the rain. And to start, we need to configure something, okay? And that thing that we need to configure are the enumerators and the settings to actually read over here, all right? So the first thing that we need to do is we need to go to Ultra Game Template, Blueprints, Enoms, and we're going to create a new weather enum. So we're going to go here, right click, Blueprint, Enumerator, let's create weather enum, fantastic, and let's open this and set the 4 options that we already had. And honestly, I don't remember what 4 options did we have, so I'm going to go to menus, menu templates, and the weather menus here, and we have only 3 options: sunny, rainy, and windy. So let's delete this one and let's click sunny, rainy, and windy. Fantastic. So that's one option. Fantastic. And we have this created here, which is amazing. Okay, we are done in that side. We are going to keep continuing with this menu open, but now we are going to configure the save, because here we have the sliders and we have the options to change the weather, but we need somewhere to store this. And usually the most common place where you can store your save variables, okay, is going to be on Ultra Game Template, Save Games, and UGT Game Save. You could store them in slow progression save, in video save, in audio save, but they get loaded in slightly different ways. So just for starters, we are going to do it in the game save, which is the save for most game settings, okay? And here we're just going to create 2 variables. The first one is going to be weather, and the variable kind is going to be weather, okay? And then we're going to create another variable, which is going to be rain. And how have we called this? Rain intensity, okay? So rain, let's say weather, well, rain, it's okay, actually. And instead of weather, let's say this is going to be an integer. And aside from this, okay, we are also going to create these 2 variables in the game instance. So we're going to go to Ultra Game Template, UGT Game Instance, okay. And here we're going to make a new variable, and this is going to be weather. This is of the kind weather. And then we are going to add a new variable, okay, of the kind rain, and we're going to set it to rain. Fantastic. And it's very important that here and here, these 2 variables actually have the default values of the weather of the weather we want here. Here the default value is rainy, and the rain intensity should be 10. So let's go here in the save, and the weather, let's change this to rainy, and the rain, let's change this to 10. Okay, fantastic. And then the UGT game instance, let's do the exact same. So weather, let's change this to rainy, and rain, let's put this to 10. So we are almost done here, believe it or not. Now, if we go back to the weather menu, now we need a way to store those variables here, and this is going to be super easy too. So let's go to the graph. And by the way, I'm very sorry, but if this is here, the UGT video save, you can delete it. This is not something that we want. And we need a save to store those variables, okay? And where do we find that save? Well, let's go to the most similar menu that we already have, which is the game settings menu. So, okay, let's go here to menus, and let's go to UGT game settings menus. Let's go to the graph, okay? And just let's go to the normal event graph. And here in the construct event, this is just the toggles, etc., etc. There is some place, and here we have the way to create our save objects, which is get UGT game instance, get game saved settings, and set the save game. I'm just going to copy this, all right? And I'm going to put this before the load buttons and game settings. Okay, so I'm going to introduce this here in my own weather menu. I'm going to compile. Oh, but problem, it's an error. Of course, this variable doesn't exist. Don't worry, right click and create the variable. Fantastic. Okay. So what is next? What is next? We need a way to load the buttons, all right? And we are going to load the buttons in these little functions over here, load buttons and game settings, which is an empty function with a very sad print string that we're going to say goodbye. And then we're going to go to UGT game settings menu and we're going to search for a similar function. Okay, it's here, load buttons and game settings. And this is the part we want. We have the force change option for an options button, okay? And for a slider button is set slider value. So let's go, let's do it. First, we grab our button slider and we have our button options. And I don't really like those names because I don't know what those buttons are. So I'm going to grab the weather kind button and I'm going to rename it to button weather. And the other one, rain, I'm going to rename it to button rain. And that's fantastic. Okay. So force change option. Let's do a force change option for the weather. And for the slider, it's a set slider value. Fantastic. So we are going to grab this. We are going to grab this one. And what options are we going to set here? Obviously, the one saved in my game save. So let's grab the game save and let's say get weather. And let's say another one and say get rain. And then we put rain here and weather we cannot put directly here. First, we need to transform to byte. Byte to enum, sorry, to integer, byte, fantastic. And now we can set it here. And the loading is basically done. There's nothing more that we need to do, okay? But there are a couple of things that we need to set up in the rest of the menu. So when I change the weather, obviously I am going to delete these print strings here and I'm going to grab the game save. Okay. And let's do a set weather, but also I'm going to grab the get UGT game instance and we're going to set the weather here too. Okay, we are going to do this like this. And I'm going to put the second one here and the third option here. This goes here, this goes here, and this goes here. And let's see the options because I don't remember. And this has to be precise, sunny, rainy, and windy. Okay, so sunny, rainy, and windy. And we are going to do the exact same thing for the slider. We're going to grab the game save and the game instance and set rain. And we are going to go here and we're also going to set rain, and that's fantastic. We're going to put this here like so, and we're going to put this here like that. Okay. Okay, and finally we are going to save and apply settings. Okay, and here we also have to save and apply settings, but there is a little problem with the save and apply settings. If we enter to save and apply settings, we also get a very sad print string, so don't worry. We're going to go to our game settings menu, and here we have save and apply game settings, and we have this one, this little function over here that we are just totally going to copy. We're going to go to weather menu, and we are going to paste it here, and it is done. Believe it or not, now we can already store data. So let's see. We are here, I go to settings, I go to weather, and I'm going to change this to windy and rain intensity to 75. I'm going to close the game. Then I'm going again over there, and we have this to 75 and the weather kind to windy, which is exactly what we want. Okay, and just for testing purposes, let's say this to sunny and 0. And now it should be okay, sunny and 0. Okay, but we are not really finished because we have another button, which is the reset to default button, and this is not going to save the settings. So we need to do a couple more things in this menu. So let's go to the event graph of the menu. Okay, and here we have the set default settings. And after changing the settings, okay, what we are going to do in each option is we're going to grab the game save, and what we're going to do is say set weather. Okay, and I'm going to put this here. Okay, and then same thing with the rain, but also we are not going to save only the weather, but we are also going to save in the UGT game instance set weather. We are also going to store the weather here. Okay, and we put this way. We go here, and then we have the game settings, set rain, and this is of course no one's surprise, set rain, and we are going to connect this in this particular way, the slider default with the rain, and the default option, it's not something that we can connect directly, so let's do a to byte, and now we can connect this with a little change, and here we go. And now in the load buttons and game settings, we should actually, no, this is correct. This is actually correct. Let's just load this to the game instance just in case. So set UGT game instance. Let's go set weather. And let's go like this, and weather, let's put it here. And the same needs to be done with the rain. We're going to put it here and set rain. Fantastic. And for the slider, it is slightly easier. We're going to connect this here, and we are completely done. So now I have my settings, I have my weather, I can change my weather to whatever I want. Okay, the settings are being saved to the disk, windy and 83, and I click now reset settings, rainy and 10, and if I do the same process, then I get rainy and 10, which is fantastic. Now it's not the time to say goodbye though, because this is how to save and load the settings if the player enters to this menu, but there's still the possibility that the player doesn't not enter to this menu, but we still need to show him or her the features and the settings, right? So remember in the start of these lessons, video lessons, that in your blueprint third-person character or your own character, I told you to integrate in your controller character the setup UGT game. We are going to enter to that function now, the setup UGT game, and somewhere over here you're going to see the load save the slot to game instance. Sorry, not this one. Let's do it again. We're going to load all settings in game, and then we're going to open this one. Okay, and here we are going to open the load game settings to game instance. Fantastic. Okay, and we have this very big function over here. It's a little bit scary, but really decent. What this does is load the settings that are saved on the disk to the game instance, so it is easily accessible by anyone or anything in the game. So we have two new settings, get game save settings. Let's expand here to get rain. We are also going to get weather. Fantastic. And here in the game instance, set weather. And this will come as a surprise, set rain. We are going to put this like this. We're going to connect this. I'm not going to make it pretty for now. and of course rain with rain, and weather with weather. And that is fantastic. And with this method of duplicating all your save settings to the game instance, we can actually achieve something very interesting. And that we can achieve if I go here to open level blueprint, okay, or whatever, in every place in the game, if I just want to access the value of whatever setting, I just need to go here and get UGT game instance, get rain. And doing things like this, you don't have to be constantly reading from the disk, right? And that's fantastic because now you can use your own functions or do whatever you want from the menu or on the begin play of whatever actor that you have, or I don't know. But this would be the way, okay? Okay, we're going to finish this tutorial here. And again, see you in the next one.